6 o'clock here.
Okay.
Call to order the November meeting of the Lafayette Common Council. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk conduct a roll call?
Clinker?
Here.
Snyder?
Present.
Reynolds? Weiss?
Present.
Brown?
Here.
Allersmeyer?
Here.
Williamson?
Here.
Downing?
Present.
Nargi? Quorum present.
Okay. Okay, first on the agenda is a public hearing. We need to recess our meeting. Mr. Clinker?
Move we set that meeting.
And
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have two items for public hearing. Ordinance 2025-40.
An ordinance for an additional appropriation in the Park and Recreation Operating Fund, Fund Number 2040.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to comment on this ordinance? Okay, the next one is Resolution 2025-17.
A resolution declaring the designation of a certain real estate as an economic revitalization area and approving the application for property tax abatement.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to speak to that resolution? Seeing none,
Move to
okay,
reconvene.
we need to move to reconvene and, got a second?
I'll make that motion in a second, if that's
All in
what's
favor,
required.
say aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Okay. We need to approve the minutes of the special meeting on October 23rd.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any questions or concerns about the minutes from that special meeting? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, okay. Presentation of petitions and communications.
There are none.
Presentation and disposable of claims.
There are none.
Reports of city offices on file in the city clerk's office.
Fleet Maintenance monthly September, Renew Department monthly September, and Waterworks Department monthly September.
And you can find those online, or you can come and visit Cindy at the clerk's office to get a copy of them. Okay, ordinance for second reading, ordinance 2025-40.
An ordinance for an additional appropriation in the Park and Recreation Operating Fund, Fund Number 2040.
I move for consideration of ordinance number 2025-40 on second and final reading.
Second.
All right, very good. We are here this evening for second reading of an ordinance to appropriate an additional $105,000 from the Park and Rec Operating Fund, which funds will be used to fund the purchase of a vehicle for the Columbian Park Zoo and for ball field maintenance at McCaw Park and Crosser Sports Complex. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the council about this ordinance? Any questions from the public on this ordinance?
Yes, this is just an order. I think the city should start in some of these, like the parks event, consider hybrid vehicles. The little hybrid trucks. I know I got one, gets 40 miles a gallon. And if you keep it under 30, it runs on the electric mostly. So for here in the city, I think that would be a good savings. You might pay more out to start with, but we haven't had any trouble for 3 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any other comments on this ordinance? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-40?
Clinker?
Aye.
Snyder?
Aye.
Weiss?
Aye.
Brown?
Aye.
Allersmeyer?
Aye.
Williamson?
Aye.
Downing?
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Okay, next up is ordinance 2025-49.
An ordinance of the City of Lafayette implementing a fee for the non-emergency responses and the lift assistance at residential care facilities.
Madam President, I move we hear and consider ordinance 2025-49.
We have a second. Okay. Chief Alcott.
Hello, Chief Alcar, Lafayette Fire Department. As we discussed last month, this is a fee to implement to residential care facilities, so nursing homes and assisted living facilities. They call us for strictly lift assist purposes, not for medical or anything other than that. And to be clear, this is not for residential. There's no fee for calling the fire department for residential in-home lift assists. I can tell you that this ordinance was brought to me by several firefighters. Firefighters don't participate in the city council meeting, and you can see behind me, there's a good contingent of them. As chief, it's my job, I feel, to be, one, to be the voice of the fire department and to support those firefighters. So that's why I brought this ordinance up for your review. I also have asked Captain Tim Franchkowiak, Scratch, to come up and give you a couple examples of everyone in this room would want to help people. It's more about don't take advantage of the firefighters for a service that he can attest at several cases where they've had plenty of people. So, Tim, our captain.
Council, thank you for letting us all come and, consider this ordinance for us. I look at this of years of experience of making these lift assists to a lot of these nursing homes. I've not had one that I felt that the staff could not have handled this on their own. Most of these residential care facilities will walk down the hallways, they'll have Hoyer lifts, they'll have the lifts necessary to deal with the patients that they've had. These facilities care for these patients on a daily basis. They know these people's medical history. We walk in, we don't. We have a response time that we have to deal with. Somebody has to call 911. During COVID, we experienced a lot of lift assist. Prior to COVID, at certain times, we experienced different waves of a lot of them, depending on management of these care facilities. So with that, what we see is a rise and a fall of these. Some of these, you can tell by our numbers, can be significant. In years past, I would even consider them double or triple to what we've been seeing. The guys have asked for years, what can we do for these facilities? If most of these facilities, from my experience that I've gone to, I would not want my family members sitting on the floor waiting for the fire department to get dispatched to drive to these facilities. If they're not on another run, that takes the extra time versus these facilities that we walk by. They have the Hoyer lifts to properly care. These facilities know the people that are at fault and have, risky health issues better than we do. But unfortunately, we've been told on numerous times we don't use them when we ask, where's the Hoyer lift? That's just a terminology. That lift's $600. I think unfortunately for what, we are asking that they purchase these lifts, they should already be in the facilities, and I have not been in a facility that did not have these lifts already there. Some of the staff will say they don't let us use them or we're not trained. And then unfortunately, that is a scary thing if you have residents that are living there and these people are in charge of their health care. There's not a one of us in this room that do not care deeply for anybody. We day in, day out do our job to save people's lives. But there's also staffing at these residents. We're a first responder. Most of these facilities have CNAs, LPN. LPNs are pretty much an equal to our first responders. There's RNs. Big majority of these nurses have a higher medical care training level than what we are when we respond. But basically, they are using us as the manpower to do their job, essentially. And then unfortunately, we can come in with a 3-man crew, which that's a lot of days what's going to show up when they have a full staff of 7 or 8 nurses standing at a nursing station. And then unfortunately, at times, we walk in and they don't know what we're there for. And that's the grim reality that I'm here to tell you what goes on. It's not that we want to be facetious towards these people that are unfortunately have no place to go or need that much more assisted living care at the latter parts of their life. Nobody wants to have to be at that point. But we also have to protect ourselves as, in my opinion, as a legality. If we walk into those places, we cause further injury to those people. Are we putting the city at a greater risk because we don't know, like I said earlier, those people's extent of what care that they need, what have you. We hope that those facilities, you know, obviously I've said before that there's never been a case, with the exception of COVID, that they haven't had the staff. There's usually nurses walking the floor, there's nurses at the nursing station. I've never seen that they didn't have, other than, like I said, during COVID, the unnecessary staff that they couldn't have handled this very easily, let alone use one of their pieces of equipment that may be a lot easier on these down patients for them. So, thank you.
Any questions or concerns from the council?
I do. I have some. And I 100% understand what you're saying, but $500 is too much money to charge. I'm sorry. The people that are in these facilities are on limited incomes. They're veterans. They're people who have worked their entire lives and now they need help, and we're not willing to provide it. I understand you're saying that you can get hurt when you go in to lift these patients. You don't get hurt when you go into someone's home? That's not a possibility? I read just the other day where somebody fell out of their wheelchair on Creasy and the fire department stopped and helped them. You're not going to get hurt doing that? I don't understand why we're picking on the most vulnerable people. You know, I am in an assisted living home every weekend. These people are our friends and family, and I just cannot support this issue. I don't believe it's about, you know, the wear and tear on the truck and the gas you're going to use, because I see, you know, the fire department, they go out to eat at the downtown or they go to Budgies. 150% I agree you should do those things. I think those are great. It's great. They pass out stickers to the kids and the kids love it. But it's wrong for us to be assessing a $500 fine to a nursing home. These people, and I understand you're telling me, oh, but we're going to do it to the facility. The facility is going to raise those people's level of care, and they're going to have to pay it. And it's just too much money. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that.
Madam President, with all due respect, I think that this is an abuse situation where a company is taking advantage of the city, and they certainly charge enough money to the residents that stay there, and it is their responsibility to take care of those residents, not the city of Lafayette. And I don't think there's one fireman in this place that would not go and take care of anybody if they had a problem. But I also believe that it is not fair for the facilities to take advantage of the firefighters and perhaps put another person at risk while they're there getting someone out of bed that might need worse help.
I don't think this is about getting them out of bed. This is
So
somebody
I
that's
think,
fallen.
with all due respect, I think it is a deterrent to the company to not abuse the system. And I think right now, there are probably a few of the nursing homes that are abusing the system, and I can't imagine that the fire department would be bringing this to us if it was not a system of abuse.
Any other comments from the council? Comments from the public? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-49?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
No.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 6-1.
Okay, the next ordinance, ordinance 2025-50.
An ordinance repealing and replacing Chapter 13.03 Housing Standards.
Yes, we are here again on second reading for this ordinance, which will adopt the 2024 International Property Maintenance Code, which will replace Lafayette's 1998 version. The code updates will modernize our standards and align them with the Indiana Unsafe Building Law and existing city ordinances. We did customize this to the city of Lafayette. It is a model ordinance, but we did take out provisions that were not relevant to the city of Lafayette, but we did add some updates regarding building security, swimming pools, accessibility, carbon monoxide alarm requirements. So this is the first major update of this code in about 25 years. Nothing significantly huge that's different in the rules. It's just cleaning them up, modernizing them, and making sure that we have the tools that we need when enforcing our property maintenance code. This new code will take effect on January 1st, 2026. Answer any questions.
We need to put this on the floor, Ms.
Sorry.
Williamson.
I move we hear, oh,
I move we hear ordinance 2025-50 on the final reading.
second.
Okay.
Okay, so wait, real quick. So I'll say ditto. Nancy confused me by looking at me. I apologize. But if you just take everything I said, 60 seconds, go and repeat it, and that's my official presentation. So we're good.
Okay. So,
Madam President, I just have a question. Does this help clarify for the inspectors? Is that kind of what this is going to help them do?
Yeah, it helps with the inspectors. Again, it's a new, more modern version, of the code in terms of terminology that we're more used to using in today's time. So yes, I think it'll be a good tool for our inspectors.
Okay, because I know, I have one situation I'm dealing with right now, and I know that they're talking about there's some ambiguities in certain things, and so
Yeah.
if this clarifies that, I think that's wonderful. Thank you.
other questions from the council? Questions from the public on this ordinance? Seeing none, we'll go, clerk, have a roll call vote for ordinance 2025-50.
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown. Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Okay, next, ordinance was for first reading, ordinance 2025-51.
An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of Tippecanoe County, Indiana, to rezone certain real estate from R2 to ND, 2927 Union Street, petitioner Diana Garcia. Hi.
Mr. Clinker?
Move we hear ordinance 2025-51 on first reading.
Mr. Snyder?
Second.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Brad Neely. I'm with RTS Law here representing the petitioner. The petitioner operates Garcia Insurance Agency from this site. Professional offices were previously allowed in R2 zones with special exceptions which this site received back in 1984. Then with the adoption of the new UZO in 1998, that was no longer allowed. So we're here requesting a rezone from that site from R2 to NB to make that site conform with that new use. There is general business and neighborhood business in the area. After conversations with the city, we elected to file to rezone to NB. It's our opinion that NB is appropriate for this site. APC staff and their board recommended approval. We're here requesting your approval here tonight. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions
I think Mr. Riley at one time had said that this was to help with signage. Is this going to be sufficient to help them change their sign? Is that,
I think this
Besides
was just
the-
to conform with the new,
Right.
with the current use. I don't
Okay.
think it was for any signage changes, but.
all right. Thank you.
Other questions from the council on this ordinance? Questions from the public on this ordinance? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-51?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown. Aye. Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Okay. Next is ordinance 2025-52.
In order to amend the zoning ordinance of Tippecanoe County, Indiana, Uzo Amendment Number 123.
Okay.
Move to hear ordinance 2025-52 on first reading.
Okay.
All right, what you have in front of you is a USO Amendment 123, which addresses the topic of large data centers, which we're aware is a very hot topic of conversation across the state and the country. This amendment adds a definition for a data center to distinguish it from a large data center. A data center is a facility that is 10,000 square feet or less, and that will cover all existing. We do have small data centers located here in our community, so this definition will protect those existing facilities and allow them to remain conforming, whereas large data centers, which are now going to be defined as those exceeding 10,000 square feet, have a much narrower path for approval in the county right now. The ordinance will limit them to I-2 zones with a special exception. This approach is to allow the APC staff time to really look at what the right regulations are with regard to these data centers here for Tippecanoe County. The ordinance does have a sunset provision. It will expire November of next year. And again, this is really a procedure for just slow things down. And there's still a path forward if one were to come, but it's narrow. It requires multiple public hearings. And again, it gives APC staff about a year to work out what those regulations should be. So happy to answer any questions.
This is, Madam, this square footage only, not any amount of energy used or the possibility to affect utilities?
No, the only definition standard right now is the difference between a data center that's under 10,000 square feet and above.
Okay.
Questions from the council?
I just have a quick comment. I serve on the APC, and this was, there was a lot of misinformation that came out early with respect to this amended ordinance, and the counselor, she just done a great job explaining the differences. But currently, without this amendment, data centers would be allowed to construct in the NB, NBU, OR, GB, CB, CBW, I1, I2, and I3. So the attempt to make is to narrow the gap so that we can have a public meeting with the data center developer. So just wanted to add that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions from the
to know.
public concerning this ordinance? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-52?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Okay, next is ordinance 2025-53.
An ordinance adopting an investment policy for the city of Lafayette, Indiana.
Madam President, I move we hear and consider ordinance 2025-53.
Second.
All right, under Indiana statute, the city must review and reauthorize its investment policy annually. The city council most recently reviewed and approved the current investment policy in December of last year. What you have in front of you is the same investment policy that we had from the prior year. It has been reviewed by the controller's office and remains acceptable for our investment policy. So we ask that you reauthorize it for 2026.
Okay, questions from the council concerning this ordinance? Questions from the public? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-53?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Okay, next up is ordinance 2025-54.
An ordinance amending chapter 4.17 streeteries.
I think Mr. Downing.
I move to hear ordinance 2025-54.
Second.
All right, so back in 2021, this council authorized the establishment of what we call streeteries and parklets. Streeteries you will see throughout downtown. We have 4 of them that are currently operating: Ritual, Black Sparrow, the Cigar Bar, and Revolution Barbecue. What we have done is this program's been in effect for about 4 years now, and so there was an opportunity to look at whether or not there were any enhancements that can make the program even better for our community. So the ordinance that you have in front of you does a couple of things. First of all, it just removes all the regulations regarding parklets. Never really took off. We didn't have any, so we're just cleaning that up. And then we also, with regard to the streeteries, we're making it very clear the responsibility between the different departments, the parking commission versus the engineering department. And the biggest change is we are clarifying the notice and consent requirements, in particular for if a streetery wants to extend on the right-of-way in front of an adjacent business, the proprietor of the streetery is required to get the explicit consent of the business that is adjoining them if they want to have their streetery in that effect. So that is the biggest substantial change this year, but it's a great program. It's worked really well, and a few tweaks, and it'll keep going strong for the future.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the council? Questions or comments from the public on this ordinance? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-54?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Next is ordinance 2025-55.
An ordinance amending chapter 7.07 bicycles of the Lafayette Municipal Code.
Mr. Snyder?
Madam President, I move to hear ordinance 2025-55.
Second.
All right. Earlier this year, the legal department did receive feedback from several departments about how we handle abandoned bicycles in the city. From those conversations came a few small but practical updates to Chapter 7.07. The changes that you have in front of you do shorten the amount of time a bicycle can be left unattended before it's considered abandoned and does streamline the process for removal and storage. They are minor adjustments, but it will make it easier for staff to administer while keeping our public spaces clean and accessible.
Questions from the council?
This is bicycles only, not scooters or anything else.
This is bicycles only, correct?
Questions from the public on this ordinance? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on ordinance 2025-55?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Ordinance passes 7-0.
Okay, next are resolutions. Resolutions 2025-18.
The 2026 Common Council calendar of meetings.
Mr. Brown?
Madam President, I move that we hear and approve Resolution 2025-18.
Second.
Okay. I can speak to this. Our office puts together the council calendar annually, and luckily this year we only have one Monday that they're not going to be able to have it, but it'll be the following Tuesday. So, did pretty good.
Any questions, concerns from the council or the public on this resolution? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on resolution 2025-18?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Okay, next resolution is resolution 2025-19.
A resolution confirming the designation area of a certain real estate as an economic revitalization area and the approval of an application for a property tax abatement.
Ms. Williamson?
I move we hear and approve Resolution 2025-19.
Second?
Okay.
Good evening, Dennis Carson, Economic Development Director. This confirming resolution is the same information that you saw the last meeting that you passed at that time. This will designate an economic revitalization area for the purposes of tax abatement and also real estate for the new Sustainia project, which is asking for a 10-year real estate abatement on their $160 million investment. So we have representatives here if you have any questions, and I'm happy to answer any questions as well.
Questions from the council? Questions from the public concerning this? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on resolution 2025-19?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Okay, next is resolution 2025-20.
A resolution of approving a deduction for a tax abatement in economic revitalization area.
Blinker?
Move we hear resolution 2025-20.
Second.
And this resolution is for the same company, Sustainia. They're asking for a personal property abatement of 10 years on their investment of over $207 million. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them, and also we have representatives here too, so.
Questions from the council or the public concerning this resolution? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on resolution 2025-20?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Okay, our last resolution, resolution 2025-21.
A resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lafayette, Indiana, authorizing the participation of said city in the motor fuel budgeting program of the Indiana Bond Bank, because execution of the qualified entity reimbursement agreement in connection therewith and other related matters. Blah, blah.
I move for, that's easy for you to say.
Yeah, really.
I move for consideration of resolution 2025-21 on first and final reading.
Second.
Okay,
Well, thank you. Thank you, Cindy, for getting that out. You could have just said, we're going to hedge the gas.
Yeah,
but
I know.
It made it simple, right? So before you have the resolution that authorizes us to participate in the Indiana Bond Bank Fuel Hedge Program. As you know, we have done this for many, many years. It works as an insurance policy. There's collars, there's parameters. There's an administrative fee that goes along with it. Sometimes you end up paying the administrative fee and don't get any money back. Sometimes we've gotten lots of money back. This year we've got a couple checks so far. So it acts as an insurance policy as we calculate the gallons that we use. Each year we look at diesel, and we look at just regular and unleaded and all those things. Do some calculations. We look at their parameters, set those amounts, and what it does, it allows us not to break our budget, right? So, like I said, some years you get money back, some years you end up paying the administrative fee, but what never has happened is have we ever had to come to you and ask for an additional appropriation to cover fuel costs for the year. So that's really what we're doing here. It's like an insurance policy. I don't have all the parameters and stuff yet. We'll continue to get that information. This allows us to enter into that agreement. If it remains favorable, if for some reason it would not, we'd come back to the council and tell you that, looking at the final numbers, it just doesn't make sense for us. So we'd appreciate your approval to allow us to continue to work on the process.
Okay. Questions from the council? Questions from the public on this resolution? Seeing none, will the clerk conduct a roll call vote on Resolution 2025-21?
Blinker.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Weiss.
Aye.
Brown. Allersmeyer.
Aye.
Williamson.
Aye.
Downing.
Aye.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Okay, miscellaneous and new business. Okay. Reports of standing committees. Reports of special committees. Reports by the mayor.
Nope.
Okay. Reports of council. Anybody? Okay, now is time for public comment. You may come to the podium. You have 3 minutes to speak. Please be respectful, courteous, and kind to everybody here in the room. Okay.
Pearl Speakman, 923 South 22nd Street. Well, I'm glad. I want to thank you all for working so hard on the chicken thing, and that was one good meeting that you guys had. I'm going to commend you guys for doing your homework and working hard and treating the public right. There's one big problem I see. It's been here ever since I moved here in '89. West Lafayette don't have this problem. Our town has a group of people that thinks that a sidewalk doesn't exist. Do what?
I said sorry.
Oh. I talked to over a 70-year-old woman this week that's running a business in this town, and she didn't understand why the policemen, 3 of them, had to come down there and tell them to move their cars off the sidewalk. I asked her, how would you like to run your grandkids and your kids out in the street and me hit them? I said, would you like me then? A sidewalk's a sidewalk. And I urge, if you don't have anything on the books, I urge each and every one of you, put a law or something in that if you find some idiot, and I ain't gonna be nice, you park on the sidewalk, you're an idiot. If you catch me parking on the sidewalk and I pull the keys out and I ain't there with my car, please give me a $50 fine. And I think everybody in the city has to do this. I don't care if it's in the neighborhood or if it's downtown where they put locks on people's wheels. That woman down at 806 South 11th didn't understand what a sidewalk was. A sidewalk is a sidewalk. And I told her, I said, tell your husband, go back and get a dictionary and find out what a sidewalk is, because he don't understand. I said, you're trying to run a nice coffee shop here on the corner and an old Kentucky home back here in the back. I said, people don't like that. So I want to thank whoever's been doing it. It's clear now, but whoever's helped me out. And 21st and 22nd and Virginia Street, if any of you guys want to see something look nice, come down there and look at it. And you have, Nancy, because you've been reported to be seen down there. But 22nd and Virginia is 500 times better. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments.
Hello, City Council. My name is Ben Davis, and I live at 5105 Snapdragon Court. And I come to you on behalf of Queer Haven, Indiana, again this month to ask you to consider a resolution for gender-affirming healthcare. A couple new things this month. So we did have a table at the No Kings event a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing to see how many people were out there and were really interested in this. Hopefully some of them are here tonight based on those conversations we have, but we had a lot of interest. We had 3 people talking to different groups of folks at the same time, so there was a lot of interest there. And I also just sat and kind of reflected here a little while ago, like how many gender diverse people do I actually know that live in Lafayette and Tippecanoe County? And I easily counted 20 people that I know, right? So these are our neighbors, these are our fellow residents that would really appreciate to have some extra support here from the City Council. So I just, again, would really like everybody to consider this. The West Lafayette resolution that they passed in July, I've printed out copies for everyone so I can hand it out so y'all can at least look at it and see what it looks like. I printed a copy for the mayor as well. But yeah, just really like, again, to partner with you to consider this resolution. So thank you. Is that okay if I hand this to everybody? Thank you.
for your comment.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Lily Pendleton from 303 Romig, Apartment B. I'm also here with Queer Haven, Indiana, again, to request a resolution to protect individuals seeking and providing gender-affirming care within Lafayette. Like we said last month, with recent Medicare coverage being cut to Planned Parenthood being able to provide gender-affirming care services, hormone replacement therapy, people's options to receive that care are even more limited to private providers and private doctors within Lafayette. And those people are also afraid that they can get their licenses taken away, they can lose their business due to providing people the same medical care that they've been able to receive safely and legally in Indiana for decades. We have members of our organization. We also just have friends in Lafayette that use this care that would like to be able to stay here. I personally have one couple of friends who have had to leave Lafayette. They live in Illinois now because they can access that care more easily. And they were a really, really vibrant part of our community. They were devastated to have to leave Lafayette. And you're gonna have more people having to leave if we're not proactive in making sure that that health care is protected here. So we would really like to meet with any of you to discuss actually moving forward on a resolution like that, because it is a matter of life and death for people that live here. Thank you.
You.
Hi, good evening. My name is George McAtee. I live at 2227 Willowbrook Drive, West Lafayette, Indiana. I was involved with the resolution that passed back in July in West Lafayette, and I'm here to help out my friends in Lafayette as well. In my 3.5 years living here, as I've been a student at Purdue, I've met people from this city who were born and raised here, who love it, who call it home, and who I would hate to see be turned into refugees within their own home, within their own country, their own state, their own city, who shouldn't have to go to Illinois where I'm from. I think Indiana's plenty good enough. I think they should be able to stay here and stay with the neighbors that they've always known, love their family as they've been forever without being forced to leave because of, the newest boogeyman of hate in our politics. So I'm just here to reaffirm, please do support the gender-affirming healthcare resolution. Please, one of you, if you could help sponsor this, because people who live here, who always have, are relying on you to protect them right now. So thank you very much for your time. Please support this resolution.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Janaya Alford, and I'm a student at Purdue, and I've been living here for the past 2 years. And I'm asking for support for the gender-conforming resolution. Thank you.
Ask a follow-up question to the groups here. Who is denying these people their care?
I can speak to that. So Senate Enrolled Act 480, which was passed 2 years ago at the state level, denies minors gender-affirming health care. That
Right.
includes puberty blockers and hormone replacement therapy. So again, what this resolution is asking the council to do is what little we can, right? We can't negate state law, but what we can do is ask the city and law enforcement in the city to enforce this measure with low priority, which is what West Lafayette has done, which Bloomington has done as well. Does that answer your question?
Well, we don't have power over state law. We don't have power over insurance agents. We don't have, or insurance companies. We don't have power over federal agencies. So I was just curious as to, you keep saying they're denied in Lafayette, it implies that the city of Lafayette is denying it. So I just wanted to hear from you, which is not the case, but it's the state law.
It is the state law, that is
Yeah.
correct. And this resolution, again, will encourage, the city to not enforce this with high priority, which helps folks like me, and like talked about last time I was here, I'm a father of a gender-affirming, a gender-diverse child, right? And if, my child was still a minor and, I took them to Illinois for treatment and came back, right? Part of that law says anybody who aids or abets someone getting gender-affirming care, right? So in a technicality, right, some of these law enforcement officers could come and uphold that law. So what this resolution is asking, again, is to not enforce that law with high priority.
Are you also in conversations with people at the State House? Your group?
Not at this time, but Chris Campbell last year did actually submit a bill to the State House this last legislative session to repeal that section of the law, to say, hey, the aiding and abetting piece, can we at least remove that from the law? And of course, it didn't get a hearing. So that's one of the things that one of our local legislators has tried to do.
If it's the law that's causing the issue, it seems reasonable to focus energies on that law as well. And if you've got a good movement going and you've got momentum from your last table you had, that No King's March, it seems like a perfect time to champion the State House.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we need people running for office to help to get rid of the supermajority for Republicans. So absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pablo Malavenda, and I'm the Executive Program Director at Lafayette Urban Ministry on 4th Street in Lafayette. But I'm here tonight representing the Greater Lafayette Homelessness Steering Committee. Last year, I traveled with a small group of people from Lafayette down to Indianapolis, Butler University, to see a documentary called Beyond the Bridge, A Solution to Homelessness. It was a powerful, eye-opening, but it was also full of hope and real practical solutions on ending homelessness. The whole program was geared towards Indianapolis, though. The mayor was there, and there was a panel of people who had experiences in Indianapolis, and we just felt coming back to Lafayette. I remember leaving saying to myself, we need this conversation in Greater Lafayette. And after several attempts of getting people to go back down to Indianapolis, because this film does appear at different events in Indianapolis, I contacted the filmmakers on LinkedIn, and they surprisingly responded. And so what's happening on November 13th is exactly what we wanted to happen, was to have the Greater Lafayette Homelessness Steering Committee is hosting Beyond the Bridge Film and Community Conversation for Change. This is a free event, thanks to many in the steering committee who are funding this. We're able to bring the filmmakers here to Lafayette, actually West Lafayette, Don Sawyer and Tim Hashko. We have a panel of leaders that will, it's only an 85-minute film, but a very powerful film about some of the successes in the country, particularly in Milwaukee, where they're actually moving to end homelessness. We're going to follow it with a panel discussion, because this is more than just a film. This is going to be hopefully a movement. On the panel, we have my boss, Wes Tillett, the Executive Director of Lafayette Urban Ministry, will be the moderator. Some of you may know Dawn Baldwin. She's going to be there to reflect on the film and share her personal experiences of being unhoused. State Representative Chris Campbell, CEO and President of LTHC Homeless Services, Jennifer Layton's on the panel, Judge Sarah Wyatt, and also Chelsea Herring-Cozy. You may not know her name. She's in charge of CHIP Indy, which is the Coalition for Homeless Intervention and Prevention in Indianapolis. She's the one that's in charge of the movement that's happening that was authorized by the mayor of Indianapolis to end homelessness there. So she's going to come and tell how that movie or documentary moved her and moved the whole city, and what progress they've seen in the last 12 months to do this. So it's going to give us some practical applications there. Like I said, this isn't just a screening, it's a launch of a long-term movement to end homelessness right here in Greater Lafayette. Everybody's invited because everybody needs to be at the table to solve the problem. Residents, service providers, business leaders, elected officials, nonprofits, neighbors who care about real solutions. So I am imploring you to be there. There isn't a more important and more influential body of people than the Lafayette City Council to be a part of this conversation. I'd hate for you to miss it. The filmmakers tell us all the time that people never regret seeing the documentary, but a lot of people regret missing it. It's not something you could view or stream. It's only at events because it doesn't have a distribution right now. So thank you, and I hope to see you there.
Thank you.
And if anybody wants a flyer, I have plenty. Oh, and I forgot to mention that Mayor Worsworski and Mayor Easter and Commissioner Murtaugh are going to be there at the end to offer comments as well.
And I've already watched the whole thing through the link that you
great.
sent, so I've already watched it.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, any other public comment this evening?
Move for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor, say bye.